What I wish I knew in the beginning of my health journey, I'm giving to you. You'll be armed with everything you need to succeed. Welcome to the It Starts With Me 360 Degrees podcast. I'm Nick Slade, your host, and I believe each step you take towards a healthier you is a victory. Perhaps you're a seasoned fitness enthusiast or just getting started. I'm here to guide you every step of the way. From simple nutrition tips to effective workout routines, I got you covered. My goal? To help you feel your best inside and out. Remember, this isn't just a podcast. It's a community. So grab your earbuds, hit play, and let's start this incredible journey together. The best version of yourself is just a listen away. What's going on? Welcome to It Starts With Me 360 Degrees. I'm your host, Nick Slade, and I want to say welcome one more time to all the loyal listeners who are returning, the soldiers and warriors, and everyone who has taken a challenge to become the best version of themselves. To everyone else who are on the fence, thinking about it, you listening, you don't know if you are ready to, take those steps towards this journey, continue to listen, and eventually you'll do what's best for you. But I know for sure that you'll have the tools when you're ready. And if you're just stumbling across the podcast, just listen. You don't have nothing to lose right now because I'm giving you some free information, some tools that's going to help you achieve a lot of your personal goals. So stay tuned. All right, check this out. Now, if you're a fan of the podcast and you've been listening, this is episode number 5, and I've been giving a lot of information to you uh, to help you in your journey. And I always start with the recap. I kind of go in detail, but this time I'm going to forego that. All right. Because I want to spend a little more time on something I think is really beneficial and needs to kind of sink in and hit home. Because for me, along with a lot of other things that I'm dishing out to you, understanding this helped me so much. Right. So let's go ahead and dive into it. And what I want to tell you is it's a rule, right? That you have to follow. And the rule is understanding your obstacles. Understand your obstacles, right? Now, categorizing your obstacles may be difficult because you're looking at, okay, this obstacle, whatever, right? But what I'm telling you is this: the big picture of obstacles for me, and I hope that what I'm sharing with you will help you to realize and kind of move forward in the way that I'm trying to, you know, share with you. The biggest obstacles, right? The umbrella, so to speak, just really comes down to 3 things. The number one obstacle, and I'm not going to tell you in any particular order. I'm just going to say 1, 2, 3, right? And then you can determine, the order for yourself. One, procrastination. That's one of the biggest obstacles that we face in a lot of things that we do. Saying that we'll eventually get to it, or I have time to do it, it's not going to work because that time, for example, may be start off with 30 minutes. Next thing you know, it's 1 week, and so on and so forth, right? So when you trying to achieve your goals in this journey, understanding procrastination is going to be a big part of your obstacle because it's going to be something you face every day. Every day. When you wake up and you have a schedule and you thinking, okay, I'm going to go ahead and go to the gym, but it's raining outside. I'll go this afternoon or whatever the case may be. Give me 30 minutes, whatever, right? Procrastinating when you have time to do something and it's not a real thing in front of you that's going to prevent you from doing whatever you set out to do, that's something that you're going to have to deal with. And understanding how you want to attack that is going to be key. Is going to be key. What worked for me a lot in these situations was doing a lot of self reflection. And what I mean by that is looking at when it immediately started and then identifying it and then understanding what I needed to do to overcome it. Right. So I may be in one of them mental spaces where I'm like, man, I just don't feel like doing it right now. I'll do it in like 30 minutes or whatever the case may be. I just came to a space where I was able to say, wait a minute, the longer I wait to do it, it's going to continue to get harder and harder for me to do it versus if I do it right now. If I do it right now, it'll be over with. So I was able to find a way to motivate myself in those situations in which that's something that you're going to have to do. Understanding what motivates you, what moves you to accomplish your goal at that particular time. So if it's going to the gym, or if you're in a gym and you have to finish a particular exercise, or you're doing cardio and whatever it is, right? Motivating yourself in that particular moment is going to be important. It's going to take time to understand what drives you, what motivates you. The next biggest obstacle is fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of a lot of things. It's just fear overall, right? That is one of the biggest obstacles. Fear is a, I ain't gonna curse, but you know what I want to say, right? Because it grabs a hold of you. It grabs a hold of your spirit. It grabs a hold of the whole of your soul at times, right? And it just makes you so small, it seems. It makes you feel like you weak, makes you feel like you can't accomplish anything. And it's hard to overcome it. It is. That's going to be a big challenge, right? Fear, fear of the unknown. And sometimes fear of success. Some people fear success. Fear is going to be an obstacle that you're going to have to attack and overcome. In a lot of cases, when it comes to health and wellness, the fear of a lot of things mentally, physically, spiritually, socially, emotionally, financially just stops you from becoming the best version of yourself. It stops you from wanting to take a shot and shoot for the stars, fly amongst the eagles. It stops you from doing so many things. And I'm gonna tell you something about fear that I've learned to understand. On the other side of fear is success. On the other side of fear is love. On the other side of fear is happiness. On the other side of fear is so many positive things. That's what I'm saying. On the other side of fear, you become the best version of yourself. You become the best version of yourself. And you know what's funny about fear? A lot of times it's in your head. Things that you thought may happen never happens. So you may think during your journey you'll never be able to do a certain thing when in fact you can. Let fear stop you from becoming the best version of yourself. Don't let fear win. And again, it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a battle. Sometimes you may lose one of the battles, but it's a war. It's a war. And you just want to win as many battles that you can because it's a never ending war. Because it's always going to be something that we don't understand. And then that fear monster starts tapping on your shoulder. The next obstacle, right? Number 3. This one is real important. This one is really important. And it has to do with self-pity. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Don't ever feel sorry for yourself. This is something that a lot of us do. I'm guilty of it several times, more than several times, right? It's just a natural feeling to feel sorry for yourself at some point, right? But how long are you going to feel sorry for yourself? At what point do you come snap out of it and come to the realization that, hey, look, I can't do this. I can't feel sorry for myself. I have to drive and move forward and pursue whatever I need to do so that I can achieve my goals. Right? Uh you may have an injury, something may be going wrong in your life, whatever the case may be, you can't feel sorry for yourself. that's a obstacle that you're going to be faced with, and you're going to have to figure out how to overcome that as well. Um, some of the things that work for me is looking at some of the people who I really admire, right? Whether they're famous or not. And I'll just start with probably two. Let's just go with two. Two people that, well, I'll go with three. Three people that inspired me, right? And I'll just briefly talk about it. One was Grant Hill. Um, Grant Hill, outstanding basketball player, went to Duke, went to the league, played for Detroit, and he was looking to kind of be the next big thing, so to speak. You know, for the league, he was looking to become the next big thing in the league. Unfortunately, he suffered a ankle injury that kind of derailed his career for a bit. He had reconstructive surgery, but he was still able to come back on the court. And though he was not uh, the same player, he still was an NBA player. And that says a lot, right? He's still a professional basketball player who, if he went to any local gym, would dominate anybody who he played against. So that meant a lot because he didn't feel sorry for himself. He could have just stayed back and he could have just he could have just took his millions of dollars and went into broadcasting and just been good. But he was motivated by a goal to uh I guess be the best version of himself, so to speak. And it worked for him. The next one is Ronnie Coleman. If you don't know who Ronnie Coleman is, you need to Google him. And here's why. Ronnie Coleman was one of the biggest bodybuilders probably ever seen to man, right? The dude was huge. And he won Mr. Olympian and just won a whole lot of titles, whatever the case may be, right? Big, big name. I mean, crazy, crazy. Uh, at some point, he had to have, like, I want to say, a ton of back surgeries, which left him in a state where he can't even walk or do anything, right? But the mentality that he has, the happiness, the joy, the uh, you just have to see it. The whole 360 is just awesome to see because of the state that he could be in, he's not in, right? He could be feeling sorry for himself. I was this big guy, I was on top of the world, etc. No, he doesn't do that. Instead, he's telling you and showing you that I'm still going to move forward and I'm going to be the best version of myself. I'm going to be the best version of myself. And he has videos where he's still working out and he's still doing a lot of things. He's happy, he's laughing and all of these things, right? So that's another inspiration for me. Another one, and I'm just going to stop here, is CT Fletcher, right? If you haven't, you know, had the opportunity to come across this man, again, Google him. He's very, um, let's just say influential, hardcore type of guy. But for me, what really kind of pushed me into saying, you know what, this guy is really someone I that inspires me to kind of move forward when I'm feeling sorry for myself. Um, Same thing. He came from powerlifting or bodybuilding world, but he had like a massive heart attack, and he could have just stayed in a state where he didn't want to work out or whatever the case may be. And he'll tell you, if you Google him and you listen to what he's saying, he'll tell you that that wasn't him, right? That wasn't him just living that life. He also wanted to be a better version of himself. So he pursued it despite what the doctors said or whatever case may be. He still pushed forward and, achieved things that the doctors probably thought he never would. So whenever I'm feeling sorry for myself, those are some of the things I look at. And something that I heard that really inspired me as well. It was something to the effect of, just imagine if you went to God, right? If you're a spiritual person, okay, you went to the Lord and you say, God, please, I have all these problems, I have all these issues that's going on with me. Everything that's going on with me, Lord, please remove them from me. The burden is too much, right? He takes them from you, puts them in a pile. The next person comes up, says the same thing. God tells you, all right, so now here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this person burdens and put it on you and vice versa. And you come out with the other person's disabilities or whatever case it was. And you find out that yours was not as bad. And actually now it's worse. Just think about that. When you start to feel sorry for yourself, it's always someone out there who is worse than what you are now. And when I started to think about that constantly, I started to appreciate, you know, the things that I was able to do. I might not be able to, you know, do things that I used to do when I was younger. But what I can do, I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. And that's what you have to understand. And that's the obstacles when you are on your journey that you're going to face, right? And like I said, all of those other little things are going to be categorized into some of one of them, but attacking the big monster of it all is what helped me a lot. It helped me to see things for what it was. So look, if you listening right now, hit that like, subscribe, follow, share, all that. All right. So we can grow the community and we can support one another in our journeys. Because one of the things I told you that you need to be in tune with your social part of your journey, right? Understanding what people struggle with and understanding that what someone else is going through, you may gonna be going through the same thing, right? And the conversations and the chats and all that stuff is confirmation. So look, comment, let everybody know what's going on. What's going on? We're a community and we're going to build and grow. We're going to build and grow together. Also, follow me on TikTok, Facebook, X, YouTube, of course, and Instagram. So I'm going to stop right here. I dished out some information that I hope will be beneficial to all of you guys out there, the soldiers, the warriors. Remember, stay focused on your goals. Apply the tools that I'm giving you, and your journey will be successful. All right. I know it will. I know it will. You put in the work and you'll be fine. You put in that work and you'll be so look, listen. I've given you a lot of stuff to think about, and I want you to understand the obstacles that's going to be placed in front of you. Also, knowing that when you're faced with these obstacles, you're going to fail sometimes. You're going to fail, but through failure, you find success. And understanding that the greatest glory is understanding that when you fall, that at some point you have to rise and rise every time you fall is the greatest gift. Not staying down, getting up. All right, so that's it. Until next episode, all I want to say is health and wellness above all. Peace.